At 02:45 a.m., my local time off the heavily guarded entrance to Novorossiysk harbor, a lone Russian spy ship worth $60 million is idling its purpose to be Moscow's electronic eye, eavesdropping on everything. Onboard a powerful system called Zhitel is blasting out a wall of jamming signals, confidently suffocating every incoming GPS signal within a 30-kilometer radius. They feel safe, untouchable. This is where Russia believes its victory lies in absolute electronic control. But 300 kilometers away, the real war is raging. Ukrainian operators hunkered down under the terrifying, erratic flight of their own, and enemy drones make a final desperate check. The commander shouts the order that could decide the Black Sea campaign FP-1.
3 units, launch.
Suddenly, 3 cheap wooden plywood drones, little more than tiny airplanes carrying a 120-kilogram warhead, are hurled into the darkness. Their mission isn't just to strike a ship, it's to kill an electronic fortress. They have to fly blind, navigating by pure math, fighting a silent war through the deafening noise of the Zhitel jammer. The next hour is a desperate race. Will these few defiant, low-cost drones outwit the most advanced signal suppression network Russia can deploy? Will they breach the electronic fortress and blind the entire Black Sea fleet? The consequences of success or failure will change naval warfare forever. This isn't just a drone strike. It is the central battleground in the new global conflict, the war for the electromagnetic spectrum. The Black Sea has become the proving ground where the Russian Black Sea Fleet, decimated and terrified, attempts to establish a new safe operating hub in Novorossiysk after its near-total retreat from Crimea. The stakes couldn't be higher. This MPSV-07 vessel, though designated a salvage ship, is bristling with sophisticated signals intelligence, SIGINT antennas acting as the fleet's principal over-the-horizon intelligence collector. Its survival is critical to Russia's ability to coordinate long-range missile strikes and track the deployment of Ukrainian naval drones. If Ukraine can destroy this single electronic node, it forces the entire residual Russian fleet to fall back on less secure, less reliable satellite links, effectively turning the $60 million spy ship into a derelict piece of scrap and degrading the fleet's situational awareness by over 60%. The conflict has evolved past simple kinetics. It is now a high-tech chess match where the cost of a single precision strike is measured not in dollars, but in the operational degradation of the adversary. The world is watching to see if low-cost, mass-produced ingenuity can nullify multi-billion-dollar naval assets. If you want to understand the future of naval warfare and why every nation is racing to build its own drone fleet, don't skip a single second and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep analysis of the world's most intense military confrontations. The adversary in this conflict is not just a ship, it is a layered network of electronic arrogance and conventional steel. At the heart of the Russian defense sits the Zhitel jammer, the R-330Z. This is a dedicated truck-mounted electronic warfare system designed precisely to counter the threat of satellite-guided munitions and drones. Operating across a wide frequency band from 100 MHz to 2 GHz, the Zhitel projects a wall of noise that floods the GPS and GLONASS satellite navigation signals. For the incoming drones, this jammer turns their precise satellite-fed guidance into useless static, causing their onboard navigation systems to degrade from meter-level accuracy to a potentially mission-killing 30-meter error radius. Supporting this electronic shield, the Russian side deploys its eyes in the sky, the 4-post R reconnaissance drone. The 4-post R, a derivative of the Israeli Searcher 2, boasts an endurance of up to 20 hours and a service ceiling of 6 to 100 meters. It patrols the sea lanes equipped with a stabilizing electro-optical gimbal scanning the radar horizon for any low-flying contact. On the ship itself, the K-27PL anti-submarine helicopter, often modified for surface patrol, maintains a high-alert watch ready to deploy its own thermal imaging and radar to hunt the small heat-pore signatures of the incoming FP-1s. The Russian command believes this defense is impregnable, a perfect combination of signal suppression, airborne reconnaissance DC, and heavy metal vigilance. Their psychological calculus is simple. Ukraine might have the will, but they cannot possess the technological synchronization required to breach this robust electronic shield. This conviction, rooted in an over-reliance on expensive jamming systems, is their fatal flaw. The Ukrainian solution to this layered defense is a masterpiece of asymmetrical networked warfare, focusing not on brute force, but on sophisticated electronic deception and surgical precision. The core weapon is the FP1, costing an estimated $55,000 per unit, less than the price of a mid-range SUV. The FP1 uses a unique semi-monocoque airframe, its structure incorporating layers of plywood and resin that inherently reduce its radar cross-section, making it effectively a cheap disposable cruise missile with stealth characteristics. It carries a robust propulsion system capable of pushing its 120-kilogram payload over 600 kilometers. The real technological leap, however, lies in the preparation. The FP1's guidance package features a military-grade inertial navigation system INS paired with a highly resilient electronic countermeasures ECCM module. This AS allows the drone to maintain its course and altitude for a crucial period even after losing GPS. But the key to victory is the Lomka-2 EW system. This covert Ukrainian asset, usually positioned close to the coastline, doesn't aim to jam Russia, it aims to deceive it. The Lomka-2 is programmed to generate phantom radar returns, creating the illusion of a massive, uncoordinated drone swarm, dozens of targets appearing, shifting and disappearing hundreds of kilometers away from the real strike group. This tactical feint is specifically designed to pull the Russian Ka-27PL helicopters and the 4-post-R drones off their true patrol patterns, forcing them to waste fuel time and attention chasing ghosts and spreading the Zhitel's electronic curtain thin across a vast, empty sector of the sea. The plan is an exquisite blend of high-tech deception and low-cost lethality. The climax begins at 03:15 a.m. The three FP1 drones designated Cobra 1, Cobra 2, and Cobra 3 have crossed the halfway point, flying at a nap-of-the-earth altitude of just 50 meters above the churning waves, using the radar-absorbing marine layer for cover. The Zhitel jammer operating from a nearby coastal site detects the drone's satellite navigation systems attempting to triangulate their position. The Russian operator, seeing the GPS receivers on the drone suddenly flash with error codes, grins with satisfaction. GPS signal kill confirmed. At that exact moment, the Lomka-2 unleashes its electronic payload. On the main tactical display aboard the MPS V07, the radar screen explodes with 24 contact tracks, a sprawling, disorganized mass of low-speed, low RCS targets appearing near Anapa. The Russian tactical action officer, already stressed from the night's earlier Shahed barrage, immediately diverts the 2 patrol Ka-27PLs and the high-flying 4-post-R to investigate the mass raid near the fictitious threat zone. This diversion buys the FP1s 30 critical minutes. By 03:40 a.m., the 3 real drones have entered the jammer's 30-kilometer ring. Their GPS is totally suppressed, forcing them to rely solely on their INS and pre-programmed terrain-following radar. Cobra 1 begins to drift its gyroscope slightly off-kilter by the persistent jamming. But Cobra 2 and Cobra 3, using superior internal components and the ECCM module, hold their inertial course with a deviation of less than 12 meters. At 04:05 a.m., the spy ship finally detects the 3 actual contacts at 8 kilometers, but only on its short-range surface search radar. The ship's automated defenses shriek to life. The officer orders the 14.5mm heavy machine guns to the ready, but they are too slow. The FP1s, moving at a cruise speed of 350 km, close the distance in less than 60 seconds. Cobra 1, veering off course, splashes harmlessly into the water 300 meters astern. But Cobra 2 and Cobra 3 accelerate for the terminal run. The ship's closest range weapon, a manually operated twin-barrel gun, opens fire tracers, cutting through the mist. It is futile. At 04:06:15 a.m., Cobra 2 strikes the MPS V07 superstructure just below the bridge, precisely where the electronic intelligence arrays are mounted. A massive, deafening flash of shaped charge fire rips through the ship, vaporizing the sensitive SIGINT hardware. 12 seconds later, Cobra 3 hits the fantail, targeting the ship's auxiliary power generation and crippling its ability to transmit any damage report. The Black Sea falls into an abrupt, terrifying silence. The immediate aftermath is one of smoking ruin and profound operational shock. The MPS V07 is not sunk, but she is, in the cruelest sense of naval warfare, functionally dead. The cost of the attack, 3 plywood drones valued at a total of approximately $165,000, has effectively neutralized a $60 million strategic intelligence asset. The blast from Cobra 2 vaporized the main MR-123 Vimpel fire control radar and the specialized electronic reconnaissance pod mounted on the upper deck, blinding the ship. Below deck, secondary systems are failing due to the power grid shock delivered by Cobra 3's impact. Within minutes, Russian patrol boats are scrambled from the Novorossiysk pier, their crews racing through the confusion of the half-lit harbor entrance, guided only by the lingering smell of burning resin and diesel fuel. They find a ship listing slightly shrouded in smoke, her sophisticated electronic systems reduced to slag. Meanwhile, hundreds of kilometers away, the 2K-27PL helicopters and the 4-post R drone are still fruitlessly searching the empty sector of sea for the Lomka 2's phantom swarm, their sensors burning fuel and time on non-existent threats. The mood aboard the remaining Russian vessels is one of grim, cold certainty. The safe harbor is no longer safe. The entire Black Sea intelligence gathering effort has been temporarily paralyzed. The price paid was not just $60 million in hull and equipment damage, but the shattering of the psychological deterrence that Russia had desperately tried to rebuild around Novorossiysk. The ship will require months of dry dock repairs, costing tens of millions more, and the most sensitive proprietary electronic components, the very eyes of the fleet, are simply irreplaceable in the short term. This attack is not merely a tactical victory. It is a fundamental takeaway for every nation that relies on expensive, conventional naval power. The age of the high-value, lightly defended intelligence ship is over. The Ukrainian operational success was not a miracle. It was a perfect execution of the asymmetrical kill chain. Step 1. Deceive the Lomka 2 system tricked multi-million-dollar Russian airborne assets into chasing electronic ghosts clearing the path. Step 2. Penetrate the low RCS plywood construction of the FP-1 drones paired with a resilient INS and ECCM allowed them to bypass the Zhitel's wide-area GPS jamming net. Step 3. Surgical strike. The drone operators accepted the loss of one unit, prioritizing the precision terminal guidance of the remaining 2 to hit the most vital electronic nodes. This entire operation proves that a nation constrained by resources can build a decentralized, technologically advanced network that hunts and neutralizes a larger, slower, and more arrogant conventional adversary. This is the democratization of naval power. The message sent to Moscow, Beijing, and Tehran is unambiguous. The most expensive asset is only as resilient as its cheapest, most vulnerable point. When you rely on a few high-value ships, you are creating a perfect vulnerable target. When you challenge the ingenuity and will of a free people fighting for survival, you will find that a $55,000 piece of flying plywood can deliver a strategic lesson worth billions of dollars and countless operational hours. The Black Sea is a testament to this new reality. Its waters are now owned by those who master the electromagnetic spectrum and the deadly efficiency of the disposable drone. The question is, how long will Russia continue to pay this exorbitant price? Tell us in the comments, what single strategic lesson do you think Moscow will learn from this crippling blow to its Black Sea intelligence?